So I moved to Chicago when I was later teen because of things going on in my family, and I was, for all intents and purposes, I was homeless. A friend of mine who managed a building let me stay in a vacant apartment, and I was desperate for a job. So I went to the help wanted ads in the newspaper because that's where you used to go to get a job. And I found a job for a secretary, and it happened to be located around the corner from where I lived. And it was in this not so great building. I went there, and this man was there, and I noticed another girl was there too, but she was just kind of sitting in the corner all sunken in and looked like she hadn't eaten in days. He said, "I'm looking for somebody, you fit it, see you tomorrow, we've got to meet a client." So I dressed up as nice as I could, and the next day went in his car, and off we drove. I didn't know where. Turns out we were going over the border into Wisconsin. At that point, I started questioning things, and he said just to settle down. We stopped at a motel. He said that was going to be kind of our home base for the time. He said that was going to just be our point to drop things off, and that we'd be back to get our stuff. So I left my jacket there. And then we got in the car, and he drove around to a little bar in the middle of nowhere. And there he's drinking it up and trying to push me to drink liquor, and I was underage, and I said no. At that point, I got kind of scared because he started drinking a lot, and then he started getting very handsy, kind of trying to grope and that kind of thing, and I was just totally freaked out. I kept asking about the client. He kept saying, "Oh, he'll be here," and nobody ever came. So I went to the ladies' room, and I talked to someone in there, and I was just bawling my eyes out. I was scared. I had no money. I didn't know where I was. She talked to the manager. Manager then called 911, and the police came. And it was a relief, but scary at the same time. They took my statement. They brought me back to the police station. They gave me some information on how to better protect myself. And then they set me up in a motel overnight. The next morning, I had a bus ticket that they gave me to get home because, again, I had no money, no one to call, and ended up going back to Chicago. Sadly, there was no recourse for me. Sadly, there was no way for me to find this person. But when I went back to that building where I had originally gone for the job, I found the girl, and she was just on the floor in a pile. And so I told her to come back to my place, and I fed her, and I got her a bus ticket, and I sent her home. I'm just grateful that I went with my gut, because if I hadn't, who knows if I'd be talking to you now.